Hi everyone. Let me get some lights on. The clouds are rolling in and rolling out. So it was sunny when I started. Now it's a little cloudy. Okay, hopefully that's better. Yeah. Okay. Today I'm going to do for you another swoosh, paper roll swoosh. And I did white last time, white and gold in the rolls. This time I want to do Payne's gray. I did one, I think I showed it to you guys, and it came out really pretty, so I want to try that again. And hopefully at the end of the video I will remember to show you last week's painting. All right, I want to get started on this so I don't forget lose my train of thought. I have the Payne's gray in a cup with, it's got iridescent medium in it, so it gives it a little sparkle. I'm going to be putting 3 drops of silicone in here. These are 12-ounce cups, and I've got it, it's about 1/3 of the way. So 4 ounces, so I'm going to put about 3 drops in. And I just let my bottle drip. I don't push on it at all because then you'll get too much in there. And this is the kind of acrylic oil that I use. I get that on Amazon. It's called acrylic pour oil. And I love it. I've never had an issue with it. Cleans off pretty easily. It's not super thick. And it's a great cell generator. So I'm going to give that a stir. Okay, and then we're going to mix up our, this is going to be a dirty pour. So I'm going to start out with some Liquitex Basics medium magenta. And then I have Basics, Liquitex Basics again, dioxazine purple and prism violet. I mix those two. And I'm just going to layer this up like you would for a dirty pour. Probably do a couple rows. This color is called Sleeping Beauty Turquoise. It is a Christina Welch color. And you can buy those colors directly from her, either by joining the Perage Posse, which is her Facebook group, or she said she now has them on Etsy, so you can look her up on Etsy, at Christina Welch. Okay, really pretty colors, and they're all shimmers or metallics. So this is Arteza gold. I think I have some 14 karat gold mixed in there with it, which is Deco Art. I'm not sure I want to go back in with the flash right on top. Okay, so I'm going to put some purple on top of that gold. And then I'm going to use the blue flash, which is Folk Art. Blue flash. I have some pink flash here too, but I don't want to put that on top of the blue flash. Let's put it on top of the magenta. So this is Folk Art pink flash. And the flash colors, they're craft paints. They're kind of pricey, but I use them sparingly. And they really jazz up your painting because it gives your painting the colors shift when they dry. So you get a different, when you turn the painting or you go from side to side looking at it, it changes colors on you. Let's go back with some more gold. And somebody was talking about over the weekend, oh, it was Heather Mader. I love Heather Mader. She's great. Talking about how important it is to make sure when you're lining up your colors that you have a good high to low color or value with your paints. Make sure you get a light enough color in there and you get a dark enough color in there. So I have my gold is a light color, the pinks are a light color, and the purples on the darker side. So you want to have all of your light, medium, and dark covered. when you do any painting. That's what gives it depth. Okay, a little bit more gold, a little bit more of the turquoise and the purple. This is a 14 by 14 canvas, by the way, so pretty big. I'm not going to fill that cup up all the way because I think I'm okay on paint. I've got probably, let me see, 12-ounce cup. So I probably have like 7 ounces in there. And I remember I'm going to be putting paint here too in these tubes. So this is just going to be my ribbon pour or my dirty pour or whatever you want to call it. All right, so I am just going to go for it. I have my tubes set up a little bit different this time, and I'm going to do my swooshes a little bit different. So I'm going to hit all the corners first, go around my tubes. And I want those tubes of color to go over this paint. So you want to make sure that there's enough paint on here to cover those two, or cover the painting, cover all the white space. I'm just going to fill in some of those spaces with some of my colors. And the only I'm having trouble thinking today. The only thing that's going to have silicone in it is going to be in the tubes. So none of this paint has silicone. I am getting some cell action, probably from the color shift paint, I'm assuming, or the metallic, maybe the gold. The metallics tend to do that. Let's try and get this pretty well covered. It doesn't have to be completely covered, but I don't want to see any white, at least in the middle. We're going to be tilting, so on the edges it's not really that important. And I don't want to move this around too much right now because of I don't want to get zigzag lines, so I don't want to move it around too much right now. I'm trying to get some more out of that cup. It doesn't want to come out, so let's just squirt some of this color shift around that tube. Get a little bit in here. All right, we're pretty good and covered. Okay, now we're going to pour the Paynes Gray with the silicone in it into the cups. You don't need a whole lot in there. Probably about an ounce maybe in each of the rolls. Maybe a finger's worth, maybe a little bit more. You have to remember to think about how much space you're going to be covering, where the tube is going to go. So, okay, I'm going to go back a little bit on this one. And I'm going to tilt towards me, and then I'm going to swoosh. Swoosh! this one. I got some canvas there. Didn't want to do that, but that's okay. It'll fill in. All right. This one, let's give it a swoosh off that way. All right, now we're going to tilt. Get this moving around. I'm going to come down here where I scrape the canvas. Let it run off. Let that go back. I'm definitely going to be running my paintbrush through some of these areas. Okay. I don't want to lose that color on that corner, but I won't get the corner covered. Okay. Let's go back. And what those, the swooshes do too with the black is almost give you some negative space in there, just like an automatic. Be careful on my fingerprints. Get that corner. All right. Let's take a look at it and see. I'm going to give it a torch because I think some more of that came over color. So we should get some cells popping up through there. And I'm sure over time we'll get some more. So let's give it a torch. Pop the bubbles. Get some cells up through that black. It's probably really hard to see it, but there's some really pretty purple going on here. I'll give you guys a close-up. Yeah, there's going to be some color coming up through that black. Because I can see the silicone already coming up through. I want to try this on a really big canvas. Just haven't figured out what colors I want to do yet. Okay, where do we want to use our paintbrush and do some swirls? And do I want to tilt this some more? I don't think so, because I don't want to lose any of the color that I have in here. But I do want to pull some of that into that black. So let's get my paintbrush out. Love this cell action here, so I want to leave that alone. I have to figure out what's going to look good. I like this part that's coming through here, so I can use that to swipe into. Not swipe, but draw into. So let's try to go with the natural flow of the lines. It makes it look more organic and not like it's been put in there after the fact. I wanted that line to continue up. Let's get some of this. Some of that pink in there. I'm trying to decide if I want to go in with another ribbon pour through that middle, just to break it up a little bit. Decisions, decisions. Let's see if we... break up those lines a little bit. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, let's do some blowing. I got some gold to come up through there. Let me see, I'm going to flip it around. This is what I was talking about last week, is to remember what tools you have in your arsenal. Because there's so many things you can use to enhance your painting. Blow some of that into that purple puddle up there. Break that up a little bit. It's always good too not to just go in and blow everything. Take a look at your composition, see where it's going, see what looks good. After you blow with the straw, it's a good idea to go back in and use the torch again, because sometimes you'll get cool effects from the bubbles of blowing the paint, because you're actually blowing air into the paint. Now see this like hard line right here? I'm not liking that. So let's blow some of that black into that pink. And you can really control how you blow with a straw. Something I like the straw, I think, better than I would like the airbrush. I don't have an airbrush, but I've used airbrushes before. But you can actually, use your straw to really get some cool effects. Especially if you use finesse and you have different air pressures when you're blowing. And the black does tend to eat up the color. So I may have to go back in and blow again in those areas to get the color to stay. Still not crazy about that middle section. I mean, I know you guys can't probably see, but let me give you a close up. There is some purple in that black, but I just feel like, I don't know, let me look at it. Let's turn it like Heather. Heather kept turning her painting the other day. Turned it and turned it and turned it. Because it gives you a different perspective. That's what's so cool about abstract paintings, is you can hang them all different directions. And every time you turn the painting, you're going to get a different looking painting. So that's pretty cool. I love this little trail of cells going on here. This magenta, the medium magenta, dries darker. Let me show you. So that is the medium magenta in there. And that's how it dries. This was the very first one I did, and I used the Paynes gray in it. So, and I'm hoping when it dries, I'll get some of this cell action that's going on there. Isn't that gold awesome in that one though? Let me show you the one from last week while I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do to finish this. So this was the one from last week. Pretty cool. I think it'll look awesome resined because of all that metallic in there. You can see the, what is that? That's the gold up there, the gold with the turquoise. And then we've got the copper up here in the corner. Really pretty. And here's that swipe I did. So where are we at? I can see this better if I cover it. Okay. Just keeping track of my minutes because my camera likes to shut off at 30 minutes. So, all right, I have made an executive decision. I am going to put another ribbon through that. I think. Give it one last torch and see if anything wants to come up in there. Okay. Just playing now, guys. Sorry, I'm not talking very much. Just gonna give some swirls and twirls and swirls. All right, I think this is going to be pretty cool when it dries. Some of that metallic, that gold is in there. So I think we're going to see it more when it dries. This is what I do when I turn the camera off. Is I go back in and play and twirl and see funky little areas that I want to mess with. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not liking that where I blew it now. That black is just sucking it back up. Try not to, after you put swirls in, try not to move your painting because it makes your swirls that you did get all funky and they don't look pretty anymore. Let me do... All right, where are we at on time? It's hard to see on this thing. I'm filling up a cup. Just with a little bit of paint. Okay, and I'm going to pour off the canvas first. Put that ribbon through there. And then I'm going to let it just do its thing. And I'm doing what I said not to do. I'm moving, so I'm going to have to go back and re-swirl. But I just felt like that needed another line of color through there. All right. That is where I'm going to leave it. I know you guys are going, what? But I have to, the camera's going to turn off, so I have to do my finishing. I'll probably mess around with this a little bit more, but I'm pretty happy with how everything came out. There's that little cluster of beautiful cells there. Love those. That whole corner there is beautiful. So please like and share and subscribe when you guys share my videos. Gets me a wider audience, which I appreciate. And so I can get my teaching out there to everybody who wants to learn. And hope you guys had fun today, learned something new. We are almost at 230. So we're getting there as far as the subscriber giveaway. We only have about 20 more to go. And I will be choosing probably a painting, a trivet, and some sort of jewelry that I will give away. Usually do 3 items. So there you go. Hope you guys like that. I'll see you all next week. Have a good weekend.